Yes, there are troubles in paradise. We will learn how all sorts of problems that may appear in the transformation values can be eliminated when we understand when to apply. What is apply? In short, confirm the values we entered for the object into the data. Let's look at this broomstick. I wanted to mirror it on the x-axis. But if we look at the origin, we will see where the conflict is. The x-axis of the broom points upward, while in the axis of the world, the x is horizontal. If I reset the rotation in the values of the object, then the origin and the world are aligned again. And indeed, the mirror happens on the x-axis. But that's not the direction I would like the broomstick default orientation to be. The software does not understand the directionality of the broomstick. To it, it's just a soup of vertices. We can fix this by editing the origin alone, which means that we move the object without the information inside. But this is where the apply comes into play in a much more efficient way. I will go back a few steps. So, we will spin it in the way we want. We can see that it is at negative 90 degrees on the y-axis and 90 degrees on the x-axis. We will go to the Object menu, then to the Apply menu and select Rotation. Notice what happened? The rotation of the object has reset to 0, 0, 0, and the mirror modifier works properly. We can see that the origin aligned itself according to the axis of the world. It's all about the difference between the object and the data inside it. When we did apply, we confirmed the values of the object back to the axis of the world. Where else can it bite us in the ass? I wanted a beautiful bevel on this cube, but there is a very strange behavior here. The problem is again in the values of the object. It has an uneven scale on the three axes. One axis is much larger. Modifiers work on the object, like some kind of external effect. Ctrl-A shortcut will easily reach the Apply menu, and this time we will choose Scale. It already seems much more logical. You will see that all the scale values change to 1. Yep, it's a bit challenging to understand, but I promise you that you will eventually have the eureka feeling. Another example that will help is this. I have a square here whose front face is 4 meters long. It seems that if I scale the object, the size of the face will increase as well, but this is not the case. When I scale the object in object mode, I take the information inside it and stretch it out. We can also see it in the object's origin. The x-axis is stretched. If we apply the scale, we will see that the size of the face has been updated accordingly. The change we made to the object synced down to the information within. The size of the face is now 19.36. What a number. So all we have to remember is this iron rule. Any edit we made in edit mode do not outward affect the object, but on the other hand, editing the object moves and squashes the information inside it until it is applied. So what's the problem? Always apply everything, no? No. However, it is also a feature which works in our favor. If we confirm the location of this object, which is not in the center of the world, it will seep into the data. Look where its origin is now. We actually want to maintain the center of the information and transform it through space with its object. Also in rotation. Once we are certain on the orientation of the information, as in the case of the broomstick, we want the rotation to be made from the object so that we can return it to the default state whenever we want. I rotated, I returned. Do you have a headache? Very good, because it means that you are on your way to understand it. The more you encounter those problems, the more understandable it will become. I can share with you that at the beginning of my journey, it drove me crazy, and there was no one to explain those issues properly. So in your case, you are in good hands. See you in the next lesson.